work session meeting today, Monday, October 3rd. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I'd also like to have a moment of silence for the victims of Hurricane Ian in Florida and up the East Coast. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Let's please keep all of the victims of that tragic hurricane in our thoughts and prayers as we go through our day, just to wonder what they're going through. And many of residents within the village went through the same ordeal. I don't know if it was as bad with Hurricane Irene. Just have a few announcements. Again, we urge all residents of the village of Washingtonville to contact the village hall with any questions you may have with what's going on in the village. I know I've been asked by several residents exactly what is happening within the village. I probably talk to at least 5 to 10 residents each day. After the conversations, they are starting to question what they've been told. We are currently in water restriction. We are asking that you do not water your lawns and driveways. Please use a watering can when watering flowers and plants. I've been asked by several residents about Ahern Boulevard and Route 94. Why is it still closed? The village board has made it clear that we want Ahern Boulevard widened. It was supposedly designed, people think it was just a 4-month project. This project's been going on since 2016. It's not a good situation there. If you have any questions, please call the town of Blooming Grove or email the ward representatives, Tom DeVinco, Kathy Acevedo. You can find their emails on the town website. Our meeting scheduled for tomorrow night regarding the proposed Orange County Transit project at 23 South Street, which is also known as Route 208, has been postponed. We felt the postponement was appropriate due to the observance of Yom Kippur. It is my understanding that the meeting at the town scheduled for 7 p.m. tomorrow is still on, so if you want to get out of the house, just go down to the town. Coffee with the Mayor will be back starting Saturday, October 22nd from 9 a.m. to noon. Please bring whatever questions you may have so you and I can have a true and open discussion. We have positions opening on our Planning Board and Zoning Board of Appeals. One position is open on each. Now's the time to get involved to help your community. Please email Christine Schenkman at christine@washingtonville-ny.gov. I have met a planner, Bayham Planning and Design, regarding our comprehensive plan. He's a planner from the Saratoga, New York area. I took a ride up there, I believe it's at least 2 weeks ago, and I sat down with himself, his office staff, and many of his clients. Anybody have any other announcements? Okay. So if you don't have an agenda, they are on the table as you first come into the room. Update on Washingtonville?
The events committee met with emergency personnel on Monday, September 26th, to discuss Washingtonville's day event, and there's also an after dark event that's new this year. The after dark portion has a lot of activities going on that Chief Sakara and I were a little surprised about, but it's good we all met and we're on the same page. So basically, the day event is from 2 to 6 at Vern Allen Park. There will be food, vendors, games, and activities, a hayride, headless horse person, and a trunk or treat. The day event is geared towards younger children, but of course, all ages are welcome. We did discuss there'll be no parking along the right side of Revere heading from Ahern towards Capitol in order to keep enough of the road clear for emergency vehicles. Witchingtonville After Dark is new this year. It's from 6 to 10 p.m. at various locations throughout the center of the village, with all those events running simultaneously. Patrick and Justine Majorano of Guilty Pleasure Cheesecakes had an idea proposal for the After Dark portion, which will be solely, I thought it was going to be solely at McLaughlin Common, and it's going to be throughout the village. Their portion is going to have a carnival type of look to it, a scary carnival, nothing. Any age is welcome, but it's more geared towards the older crowd. There'll be a stilt walker, carnival games, ticket sales, and food vendors. The businesses will still be open. That area will be closed off to parking, and as far as I know, Justine and Patrick did notify anyone who rents space there, business or residents that are over there, that there'll be no parking over there from 12 to 10 p.m. Again, the event doesn't start until 6, but in order to help the police not have to track down anyone who was parked there before the event, we're trying to stay away from having cars towed. But there'll be no parking from 12 until 10. DPW will set up barricades to help prevent cars parking from that lot, and also to help pedestrians from crossing the street. The chief has assigned a police officer to help with crossing on 94 and 208, and also Linda Steinberger, crossing guard at North Street. They're expecting a very huge crowd. Hopefully it's fun and everybody has a great time. Let's see. Also, heading across the street to Amada's, that portion is going to be used for, the lot next to her restaurant is going to be used for a haunted house, and there's going to be a dance floor for an IPAC to perform, and then that portion will be able to cross to Mays Field through the footbridge and continue to the basketball courts. There's going to be a game going on that night at Mays Field, nothing to do with Halloween. And then attendees can cut over to Fulton Square by Mamba's and La Villa, where there's going to be a drive-in movie that starts around 8. And again, even though the movie's on at 8, all these events are going on at the same time. The carnival will still be going on, so the police chief has a lot on his plate with planning. What else? That's what I have for the event. Does anyone have any questions or?
You just have to say it the right way, Val.
I'm not
Trust
doing the
me.
haunted talk, I'm not, you could do it. She wants me to do an echo, I'm not doing it, that's all I have. If nobody has questions about it.
I do.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present the first Witchingtonville After Dark.
It's much better than she did it.
Thank you.
She's here all week.
Oh my God.
I will not be present.
You say that with a giant smile.
I do.
Yeah, thanks.
I will be at my grandson's christening.
Oh, that's a good event.
So, that's where I must be.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's go to new business, review of design plans. In front of you are a few options, first and second floor of this building. For those of you who are unaware of some events that have been going on within the building here, only half this building is being used. So we felt it was best to move the police station, that's currently too small for them at the present location, into this building here. We went to contract with CL Studio Design Associates in Goshen, New York, and they came up with a few different layouts. They all look, you might think they all look the same, but they are very different. And some might ask, well, how is this being paid for? And it will be paid for by the sale of the police station that's in the center of the village. Chief Zaccaro and I have met with CL Design Studio Associates several times to come up with different solutions. And I think what you have here in front is a lot of choices that we have to make. But if you remember this as a gym at one time, the back corner of this building was a racquetball court. So that's the only area that a new floor would have to be installed. Again, you know, we have a building here that's only being used at the first floor. Second floor is nothing but storage. And we still have probably 85% of upstairs not doing anything. So that's our plan for moving the police station into this building here. There'll be separate entrances for both the police department as well as the village hall. Most of the village hall would be upstairs. The police department itself would be downstairs on the first floor with the chief, the sergeants, the detectives, other areas upstairs, a conference room, and so forth. If you remember, there was a full kitchen here because there were people actually living upstairs during, I don't know the exact years. But, all right, so please take a look. The chief and I really have to sit down whenever you're available. And sit down with CL Studio Design as we move forward. And then a cost analysis will go out. And like I said, the cost of doing the construction here should be paid for by the sale of the police station, so not to affect any of the tax base within here in the village of Washingtonville. Appointment of John Terry, full-time building inspector. John Terry has been working with the village. If you remember, we went to appointment several months ago regarding John. We had to wait for civil service list, which he was on the list. We canvassed all of the list. We had one person who was interested in the position, and since then has declined it. So I'd like to make a resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Washingtonville appointing John Terry as building inspector. Whereas there exists a vacancy in the Village of Washingtonville for a full-time building inspector in the office of the Village Building Department. And whereas, in the opinion of the Board of Trustees, John Terry, who has been serving in said capacity on a provisional basis, fulfills the requirements of knowledge, skill, and experience for the position. And whereas there is a need to appoint a full-time building inspector in the Village Building Department in order to provide for the efficient operation of the said department. And now therefore be it hereby resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Washingtonville hereby appoints John Terry to a position of building inspector in the Village Building Department effective immediately at a salary of $56,804.80, provided that all appropriate documentation is submitted and accepted by the Orange County Department of Human Resources Civil Service Department, which it has been. Motion was made by Trustee Kolar. Need a second? Second made by Deputy Mayor Lodato. Roll call. Trustee Kolar.
Yes.
Trustee Kolar.
Yes.
Trustee Sampson.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Lodato.
Yes.
Mayor Bucko, yes. 5-0. Today is the 3rd. And it's 10:3. This month is going quick.
I know, right?
All right, coming back to the update on the comprehensive plan, As many of you know or do not know, we started working on a comprehensive plan back in 2019. Wasn't 16.
No, it was right before the pandemic.
2018, in which we have a draft of that comprehensive plan. And that's the plan that I brought up to John Bayham, who had also said that, well, we are advancing it. There's still a lot of work to go. In your packet, there is a proposal by them. And it could be what we want him to do, his firm to do, what we want to do as a village board and committee from the public, residents living within the village. So it's like a list. So if we could just take some time, we could discuss this as we move on. In here is pretty much everything that they do, the whole firm. It's quite impressive. They have taken over what used to be middle school in Saratoga, and made it into offices. Pretty much what we could be facing years from now down the road, here in the village. Okay, discussion with Orange County Transit. For those of you who just came into the room, we are postponing tomorrow night's discussion with the owners of Orange County Transit that was going to be held at the middle school. We are looking at next Tuesday, same time, 7 o'clock. The 11th, I believe it is. And they've given us from 7 to 11. They will be using overheads, so to make our decision a little bit easier. But for those of you who are unaware of the project, they are looking to do their project in 2 phases behind the old Spears building. Nothing more, nothing is going to be protruding from that onto the farm. I know some people have come to me, how could you want to put buses where corn stalks were? No one does. All right, so it's just going to be behind the Spears building that was built whenever it was built. And the total project is 10 acres. 9 point something, I ran it up to 10, and it's going to be done in 2 phases, but nothing more will exceed the 10 acres.
And what was the date of the meeting?
The 11th
There's
of
a
October.
planning board work session coming.
And that's probably going to be 61 East Main Street wants to be taken off the agenda for October 11th.
So there won't be a planning board meeting then?
Yeah, no, 61 East Main Street wants to be taken off the agenda.
So there won't be a work session at all that night?
No, 61 East Main Street wants to be taken off the agenda.
But that's the only agenda item,
That's the only agenda item.
so there'll be no meeting.
No, because 61 East Main Street wants to be taken off the agenda.
Excuse me, what is the project over behind?
Orange County Transit, so it's a private bus company that transports students in various school districts, including our own Washingtonville Central School.
Okay,
All right, what they want to do is put up 2 buildings there for storage of buses.
okay.
And that's pretty much as far as we know right now, but, next Tuesday, they'll have a full presentation of that.
What I don't understand is why do we need that when
No,
we
it's
have
a
our own
work session.
system?
It's a work session, so, if you want to email me your questions, I could get back to you on them,
Okay.
okay? Thank you.
I just have one quick question. The buses, would that include the buses that are on 208
Yeah.
now? Or is it
It's
gonna
a
be?
work
It's a work session, we're not supposed to take any comments.
If you want to email me,
Okay,
and
I
I'll
was
give
just
you my
wondering. Okay.
email, it's a great question, it's two different subjects.
Okay.
It's two different topics, yeah. Okay, anybody else have, we're not really taking any questions, but if you want to email me your
About the
questions.
buses, a question about the buses.
Yeah, if you want to email me your questions, I will email them, the answer back to you. Okay?
Will that be a public hearing that people can talk
On the 11th?
on the 11th?
I think they'll be, I'm sure they'll be taking questions. Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm sure they'll be taking questions. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Anybody have any? Okay. Again, our meeting tomorrow with Orange County Transit is postponed. However, and we're doing it strictly because of observance of Yom Kippur. However, you could go down to the town tomorrow. They're still having their meeting tomorrow at 7 o'clock at the town hall. It's only Yom Kippur in the villages. Okay. We will now be going into executive work session, so I need adjournment. Again, anyone who wants to email me any questions, please feel free to do that. I promise you, I will get back to you as soon as I am able to. Not when I have a chance, because that could be forever. That could be a long time, as soon as I'm able to get back to you. My email address is mayor@washingtonville-ny.gov.
There you go.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Going into executive session?
Which we are. We will not be coming up.
The reason for the executive session?
It's on the agenda, personnel. Second was, I'm sorry.
Yes.
All those in favor? Opposed? Thank you, everyone. Please enjoy this beautiful fall weather. Feels a little winter weather.
I work for them, yes.